What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we are coming off one of the worst days that I have had in a while. Yesterday was one of those just days where everything goes wrong. You know, sometimes you have those days, everything goes correct, you sweep the board, you get lucky on a few plays and they cash, and it's like, dang, we are him, we are those guys. But yesterday was the opposite. Everything that could go bad went bad. We had Framber Valdez, fantasy and K's. He got absolutely destroyed. He chalked both lines. We had our man Bailey Ober under fantasy. He had a great game. He had him under K's. He had a great game, went over K's. Sandy Alcantara. That one was the one. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you could have seen me in person last night, I was crashing out. Like, that is the first time that I have crashed out in over a year from sports betting. Like, I was so tilted and so salty that Sandy Alcantara pitched 114 pitches last night to chalk my 20.5. Dude had 100 pitches in the seventh inning, walks a batter with like 104 pitches, and they let him finish two more batters. You tell me how or why that happens, I don't know. But Alcantara chalked me for a lot on our underdog fantasy thing. So we went from $370 bankroll to $265 on our underdog challenge yesterday, which is diabolical. It sucks. It is what it is. That's really what had me crashing out last night. But we are going to bounce back today. We're going to have a good day today. We got NFL preseason, we got WNBA, and we've got MLB. So we've got some choices today. I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If this video gets 250 likes, I will pick a random comment down below to win a free month. So drop a comment, leave a like. I'm going to pick a winner. Winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Anthony Rooks, who said, let's keep rolling in the green. Love this channel. Well, Anthony, I appreciate you for loving the channel, man, and for supporting us and for watching and for commenting. Really do appreciate every single one of you. Send me a message on Discord, Anthony, and I'll get you added for a free month, my man. I appreciate you for real. If you guys do want to join our Discord, you can get in right now for the Discord's free. But if you want to get to the VIP section of the Discord to get all of our plays, yesterday's the first losing day we've had in probably a week, and we are doing it right now for 20% off. Use code NFL. So you can get in for $25 per month, then get 20% off, which is $20 per month, less than $1 a day. You can get in for $10 a week if you just want to try it. Code NFL works on the weekly pass as well if you guys do want to join. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of these free picks for today. And I just closed out Props Madness, so let's go ahead and lock in Props Madness again. Oops, going to use that for WNBA, even though not a lot of WNBA I like. I'm not super big on this slate. I mean, it's a bigger slate, but the props I'm just, so far, I'm not super keen on. But anyways, we're going to start with WNBA, then we'll go through MLB, and then we'll jump into our NFL preseason picks, which I really do like. So the first pick of the day is going to be for our girl, A'ja Wilson. So A'ja Wilson is one of my favorite plays today on the board. We got, okay, I was about to say I'm on MLB, but we got the Aces taking on the Mercury. The Mercury are playing in Las Vegas tonight. We got A'ja Wilson, who we have already talked about. Took A'ja the other day, and I told you guys, something about A'ja Wilson and this Mercury team. She feasts on them every single game. Look at her head-to-head data. She has had 48.5 PRA over her last 6 games on average versus this Phoenix team, and you can see the last 2 games she had this season, 51 and 47 PRA. That being said, on parlay play, I'm buying this line down. I am going to buy it down to 30.5. If you want to tell it, you can. If you want to play her at 39.5, that's okay. But I'm taking her at 34.5 for a 1.29x, and you can play this with a couple of other plays. That's what I'm doing. I don't dislike her at 39.5, but that is getting a little bit high. If you look at A'ja Wilson, under 39.5 on the season, she's been under in 63% of games. Now, if you look at her over 34.5, she's been over 50% of games, but lately she's been on a tear. Last 10 games, she's cashed it 8 of her last 10, 60% of her last 20. She's cashed this line every single game versus the Mercury. You can see the Mercury have a decent defense. They don't give up many stats in any category. They don't give up a lot of points. They don't give up a lot of rebounds, and they don't give up a lot of assists. But A'ja Wilson gets a lot of points, a lot of rebounds, and quite a few assists in some of these games versus this Mercury team. So look for A'ja Wilson to feast again tonight. I like this matchup for her. The matchup is the main reason I like to play. I will pull this up over here. We'll pull up the Aces versus the Mercury, and we'll come over here, A'ja Wilson. You can see she's got a tough matchup. It's orange and yellow. Like I said, the matchup, like, statistically, the Mercury is not going to be a good team to target against because they do have a good defense. They don't give up a lot of stats. But We've already seen what AJ Wilson does to him, and I'm going to be risking it tonight at 34.5 PRA. If you guys do want to lock it in, who did I pair with? I paired her with our girl Kiki. I'm taking Kiki again. You can take Kiki at 13.5 points if you'd like. I'm buying her down to 11.5, and we'll see how the payout works on this because I think I'm going to have to add a third play on parlay play. But Kiki's cashed this line 54% of games on the season. Head-to-head, she's cashed it 2 of her 3 games this season versus Connecticut. She went under her last game, which was 2 days ago versus Connecticut, where she dropped 9 points. She had 8 field goal attempts, shot 38%. The other 2 games, she shot 10 and 8 field goals with a 70 and 75% hit rate. Going against a team that gives up 10th in the league in amount of points. It's 86.2 points per game. It's going to be a good matchup. I'll go ahead and pull this up on Props Madness too. We can look at the shot chart for our girl Kiki. So we're going to click Washington, Connecticut. Come down here to our girl Kiki, and you can see she's got a green matchup under the rim. This is where Kiki shoots 69% of her shots. 13th, the worst defense under the rim. It's a perfect matchup under the rim for our girl Kiki. Nothing else even matters when you have 70% of her shots here. Like the matchup there just for that reason. And Kiki at 11.5 points is a discount. Remember this. A couple of games ago, we took Kiki under 15.5 points, and she ended up with 18. So under 15.5 versus over 11.5 versus a team that gives up the same amount of stats. I think the last game we took her, it was versus the Sparks, but it is what it is. They give up a lot of points. It's a good matchup for Kiki. She's averaging right at, I did not mean to do that. Averaging right at 10 field goal attempts per game. Looking at her free throw attempts, she's getting 4.5 per game. She had 9 that one game. She does get a decent amount of free throws. Shoots a decent amount of shot volume. If she's shooting well, she shoots more, obviously. But Kiki at 11.5, I think is a good line. And I think this is going to be a place where we can find some value for Kiki. So you can take Kiki at a 11.5x. This gives us a 1.74x. So I can't play these two together because I need a 1.75x. So 0.1 off, which is absolutely, it's just terrible, man. That sucks. We can take her at 13.5 points, and obviously going to be a lot more sweaty on this one, but it is a 2.3x. If you guys do want to risk it there, we might do that on parlay play and then play her a little bit safer on underdog. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to risk Kiki at 13.5 points. I don't love it there, especially with Shakira Austin playing again, but 13.5 points. Or we could buy her down and we could play something else. Let's take a look. Let's see what we have for WNBA. See if there's anything we could buy down to make this play work and still get a decent payout on this one. We could take Tina Charles at 7.5 points, and that puts us over the line. I mean, I know this payout's really, really bad, and Tina Charles has to get 8 points, but Charles, I'm pretty sure, is good for 8. I don't play Charles too often, but the times I don't play her, I see that she has like 20 points. So 7.5 points, she's cashed 10 of her last 10, 90% of her last 20, 88% on the season, head-to-head every single game. Okay, so I mean, this is a perfect matchup for Tina Charles to get at least 8 points. She's shooting 14 field goal attempts per game. If she doesn't hit 8 points, then we just got bamboozled. That was a minus 1,000 odds play. So just to get me over the line, I'm cool with doing that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm cool with it. You can buy her up and get this payout a little higher if you want. I don't care about that. I'm trying to play safe plays to get this $250 to be at least close to a double up. So we profit right at $210 on this play. I'm willing to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm giving you guys options. If you don't want to play it that way, you can play the higher lines if you'd like. I don't dislike Kiki. And, whoa, I'm giving away one of our other plays. You guys could probably pause and go back if you wanted to do that. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We'll be giving those here in a minute anyway. But that's what I'm going to go with. Kiki points is going to be a free pick. AJ Wilson is a free pick. And I'm just locking in Tina Charles. That 1.05 just gets us over the line to be able to lock in the slip. That's literally the only reason I played it. So anyways, that being said, let's get everything swapped over to baseball. We got 2 baseball picks, and then we got 2 NFL picks, 2 for each sport. Let's get into it. So the first baseball pick that I like for today is going to be for our man Patrick Corbin. Corbin is not a pitcher that I trust at all. I'll be honest with you. Texas Rangers pitcher pitching in Kansas City versus the Royals today. Corbin sold a lot, but you're getting a discount right now, 2.5 Ks for our man Patrick Corbin. I like this line a lot. He's cashed 8 of his last 10. He has got hammered his last two games versus Toronto and versus the Phillies. The Royals aren't the Phillies or Toronto in terms of offense. Our man Corbin's got 84 pitches per game on average over his last 10. There's a couple of games where he's had 100 or over 100 pitches. If you look at him on the season, he's averaging 86 pitches. Pitch count's lower lately, but he's been getting a little bit lit up. You can see some of these games he pitched 3 innings, 4 innings, 2 innings. So the last 3 games have not looked well for him. I'm going to tell you guys, after yesterday, man, you can't go based off of how the pitchers have been pitching lately, because that yesterday could have been the line in the sand that was drawn where these pitchers now are going to start playing well again. It's very possible. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Patrick Corbin could come out here and get pulled in the second because he got absolutely destroyed, and I'm going to look stupid. But I do think he gets 3 Ks. 3 Ks is low, man. Corbin averages 7.47 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is less than a strikeout per inning pitcher. But if you look at the Royals, they strike out 24.2% of the time over the last 30 games, which is 23rd in the league. If you look at them on the season, they're striking out 22%. 3 Ks for a starting pitcher is nothing. Even Corbin in the game where he pitched, what is that? How many innings was that? 3 innings? He had 3 Ks. So last 2 games he had 1 and 2, but I mean he's got killed in those 2 games as well. So that being said, last season he cashed it 84% of games. He cashed it 78% of games this season. Head to head, he's cashed it 3 of 4 games, or I meant 3 and 4 strikeouts of those 2 games, but it's 2 of 2 games versus the Royals. Don't see any reason he doesn't get 3 strikeouts today. So I'm going to be locking in Patrick Corbin. The best value on this one's going to be on underdog. Had it pulled out. You can get Patrick Corbin over here. 3.5 Ks is a original line. You get a 0.71x on this if you play it on underdog. It's not quite as good as on parlay play or Prizepicks, or I'll check Prizepicks too. We'll find the best value on this. So, Corbin, 2.5 Ks, and we'll find another strikeout line to pair with him to see how the payout looks on all 3 websites and figure out which app has the best value. So who we pairing with? We paired Patrick Corbin with our man Jason Alexander. So I'm taking Alexander. You got 2 choices here for this one. Jason Alexander is the Houston Astros pitcher. He is pitching today versus the Baltimore Orioles, playing in Baltimore. I like to play for Alexander, man. Alexander's not someone I bet on at all this entire season. His K line sitting at 4.5. You can get him at 3.5 or 2.5 for a payout that's decent, depending on where you want to take it. If you take it 2.5, he's cashed it 6 of 6 games this season. If you take it 3.5, he's cashed it 4 of 6 games this season. He's a pitcher. He's getting 7.21 strikeouts per 9 innings right now, going against a team that strikes out 23% of the time on the season and then 22.4% of the time in their last 30, which is middle of the pack recently, but 27th in the league overall. Head to head, Jason Alexander's had 1 game versus Baltimore this season. That was about a week ago. He had 6 Ks and 76 pitches. His pitching average right now, his pitch count is sitting at 88.5 pitches over the season. He's getting mid to high 90s on some of these games if they want him to pitch that long. And he's had at least 4 or right at 5 innings on every single game. Every game he's had 6 innings except for 1. You give a pitcher 6 innings and he can't get 3 to 4 Ks. You're doing something wrong there. And versus the Baltimore Orioles, come on, bet, man. It's not a bad matchup at all in terms of strikeout. So you can play it depending on how you want, and you can look at the value, and I'm going to let you guys determine this for yourself how you want to take it. If you take the 3.5 Ks, you got a 1.9x on parlay play. If you take 3.5 Ks on Prizepicks, if I can find him, so 3.5 Ks on Prizepicks, and you have a 1.9x as well, so first place pays 3x. Okay, anyway. So 1.9x if you play the minimum guarantee if you play them on Prizepicks. And then if you play them on Underdog, we can find Jason Alexander, 3.5 Ks. And 3.5 Ks here is a 2.08x. So you got the best value on Underdog. For the Underdog challenge, I'll probably end up buying this down and playing it safe. It's a 1.6x. You can't play that on Parlay Play, obviously. On Parlay Play, it's a 1.41x, so you might as well just scratch it off your ticket right here for Parlay Play. On Prizepicks, I don't even know if you can get him at 2.5 Ks, to be honest with you. Where are we at for our man Jason Alexander? Am I blind? There he is. Yeah, so you can't even get him at 2.5 Ks on Prizepicks. It is what it is. But the best value is going to be on Underdog. That's where I recommend locking him in at 3.5 or 4.5 Ks. 3.5 Ks is not a bad line. I might just go ahead and lock him in on Parlay Play just because I don't have a huge bankroll on Underdog right now because we're doing the challenge. So I can't lock in a normal unit on him. So I'm going to do it on Parlay Play for a crappy payout compared to what it could be. But anyways, it is there. It's not much better on Prizepicks. It's actually worse on Prizepicks unless you win first in that competition or whatever. I'm not even exactly sure how all that works. But that's what I have for MLB and for WNBA. So you got 2 slips right here. Here's the third slip. The third slip for NFL preseason that I have is going to be for our man Skylar Thompson, and then we got Plummer. We got Plummer over passing yards, then we got Thompson over passing yards. Let's take a look at these plays and let's figure out why I like them where they're at. So NFL preseason over here on Prizepicks, you got 90.5 passing yards for Jack Plummer. You got 88.5 on Parlay Play, which you guys can see that I locked him in at. And then he was 85.5 on Underdog, and he got bumped big time. So he went up to Plummer is 91.5 right now. He went up by 6. We actually played him on Underdog. So this is where we played him at. Plummer, higher than 85.5, $100 to win 315. And then we had Skylar Thompson at 100.5. So we got this early on Underdog. If you got it in early, you could have got Skylar Thompson at 115 passing yards. Unfortunately, I didn't even get it in this early when Ace posted it. It is what it is. But you guys can't play it on parlay play right now. You got Skylar Thompson at 100.5 still, and then Plummer at 88.5, which is a better value than you're going to get on Prizepicks. They don't even have Skylar Thompson on the board, which is unfortunate. But anyways, that's what we're playing, guys. I'm going to give you my write-ups for these plays. So the reason for Jack Plummer, looking at Plummer, he's starting tonight for the Panthers. Panthers are sitting both Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. This leaves the only other quarterback on the roster being Bryce Perkins. Bryce Perkins just got signed to this team on Monday. That means this guy has not had a chance to really come out here and learn this full offense. They brought him in as a fourth quarterback after the Dalton injury or the elbow injury or whatever. Plummer should get the entire first half. I personally think he plays at least some of the third quarter. Just signing with our man Perkins on Monday, I don't see how they expect to give him a whole half. Maybe they do. Maybe it's not that difficult for him. Maybe he knows, has been studying a little. I don't know. Anyways, I like Jack Plummer over 85.5 passing yards or 88.5 if you want to take him there, which I did personally on parlay play, which you guys can see right here. We put 250 to win 782. But anyways, I do like this play a lot. It's one of my favorite preseason plays right now, and I'm thinking we're getting some good value on there. The second pick we have is Skylar Thompson, 100.5 passing yards. This one's a little bit more sweaty, a little bit trickier to look at. Aaron Rodgers has already been ruled out. This leaves Mason Rudolph to start the game. I only think Mason Rudolph is going to play 1 or 2 series, and then Skylar Thompson's going to come in. Thompson looked very good in his first 2 preseason games. He went over his line in both of those games. The only uncertainty here is we have Will Howard. He's had a fractured bone in his right hand. I don't see Will Howard coming out playing much, risking it for that in a preseason game. But who knows, man? It's a meaningless game. I don't know what they plan on doing. Thompson's battling for a roster spot right now, and he's facing a Panthers team that's given up over 50 points in his first 2 starts or the first 2 games. So I like the spot for Skylar Thompson. I think he throws for at least 101 passing yards tonight, and with the opportunities he's having with Jack Plummer, I think we have a nice little value 3.15x. Now, obviously, they have to perform. We don't need any drop passes and things like that. We've seen how this can go in some preseason games, but regardless, I like these plays. I think they're going to have plenty of opportunity tonight and plenty of playing time. So if you want to lock them in, they're there. That's our free picks for today, guys. I am about to go record the Underdog Challenge. If you guys want to stay tuned for that one and come check it out and show us some love, would appreciate it. But anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a comment for a chance at free VIP, and I will see you guys in the next one.